Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something really fascinating, an ancient idea, actually, but one with maybe surprising power for how we live right now. We're talking about Mushin. You might have heard it called the no mind. And look, if you've ever felt stuck, just spinning your wheels, overthinking everything, this isn't just some, dusty old philosophy. It could be a real practical tool for finding clarity, for acting instinctively.
That's exactly right. And I think that resonates with so many of us, doesn't it? That feeling of just mental clutter. Your mind's racing. You've got lists. You're replaying conversations, worrying about what's next. It's constant noise. But what if there was a way to just quiet that down? To respond to things calmly, confidently. That's really the promise of Mushin, isn't it? Finding that calm center so you can act with purpose.
It really does sound almost like a superpower, like finding this quiet space inside, even when things are chaotic outside. So our mission today is to really unpack Mushin. What is it? Where did it come from? And we want to look at how people have used it. Some pretty incredible figures, actually. But most importantly, how can you use these ideas? How can they help you sharpen your focus, maybe find a bit more peace day to day?
Yeah, we'll definitely cover the core idea, how it's maybe different from things like modern mindfulness. We'll dive into its role in martial arts. That's where you hear about it a lot. And then crucially translate that, make it practical, actionable steps for your work, your life, just the everyday stuff. We should also touch on potential pitfalls, maybe, and how you can make it work for you.
Okay, let's jump in. This no mind idea, Mushin, it's Japanese, right? But no mind. That sounds a bit like, I don't know, blanking out. Is that it?
Not quite. That's a common misconception. It literally translates more like minds without disturbance. His roots are deep in Zen Buddhism and also, Japanese martial arts. For Zen practitioners, it was about shedding ego, judgment, getting to the state of just pure, open awareness.
Okay, mind without disturbance. That feels different, less empty, more clear.
Exactly. It's not about emptying the mind. Think of it more like a perfectly still lake. The surface is calm, reflects everything perfectly without any distortion from ripples. But underneath, it's alive, it's responsive, you're present, but without all the usual mental static, the emotional noise getting in the way. Your mind's quiet, but incredibly alert.
So it's not about stopping thoughts entirely, but maybe stopping them from hijacking your ability to act. Because let's be honest, that happens a lot.
That's precisely it. When you're in that state of Mushin, your actions aren't bogged down by overthinking, they just flow from instinct. It's like that constant internal committee meeting just gets adjourned, and the right response just emerges. You don't consciously decide every little thing, you just do.
That kind of spontaneous, effortless response. Okay, I can definitely see how that would be invaluable in like a fight or something high stakes. But how does it compare to something like modern mindfulness? A lot of us are trying that. Is it the same thing?
That's a really important distinction to make. They share some ground, for sure, but their ultimate focus is a bit different. Mindfulness, as it's often taught now, is really about awareness. Noticing thoughts, feelings, sensations, without judging them, just watching them pass by.
Right, like observing the traffic of your mind without jumping into the street.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Mushin takes that awareness, that presence, and channels it directly into action. Spontaneous, instinctive action without hesitation.
So if mindfulness is like watching the river flow, Mushin is more like jumping in and swimming with the current effortlessly.
That's a fantastic analogy, exactly. Mindfulness helps you notice when you're getting caught up in thought, which is super valuable. This is the first step. Mushin is kind of the next step, maybe. Responding instinctively when action is needed, without being weighed down by self-consciousness or second-guessing. They can absolutely work together, but Mushin really emphasizes that immediate, unburdened response.
It still sounds a little abstract, maybe, but it gets very real when you look at the martial arts connection, doesn't it? You mentioned figures like Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary samurai. He didn't just theorize about this, right? He lived it.
Oh, absolutely. Musashi is a prime example. His famous duel with Sasaki Kojiro, it's often brought up in this context. What apparently gave Musashi the edge wasn't just his incredible skill, though he had that. It was his almost uncanny ability to anticipate, to react instantly. People said he wasn't thinking in the usual way. His mind was so calm, so alert. It was like he reacted before the thought even fully formed. He was completely immersed in that state of flow, you could call it. Time seems to warp, your body just acts faster than thinking.
Wow. So his duels weren't just physical clashes, they were contests of mental mastery. Mushin was that edge, allowing him to act without hesitation, just pure instinct in the heat of the moment.
Precisely. It's like the conscious, analytical mind steps aside, and lets the trained, intuitive self take over completely. It's about trusting your body, your training, your instincts to handle whatever comes. It sharpens awareness, sharpens focus. Every movement becomes purposeful. And the great thing is, you don't need to be facing down a sword to tap into that.
Right. Because let's face it, our biggest battles might be with overflowing inboxes or, navigating rush hour traffic. So for you listening right now, what are the practical lessons we can pull from the samurai's secret weapon? How do we use this?
Well, one of the most fundamental things, and maybe simplest, is breath. Learning to control your breath. When you feel that sense of overwhelm creeping in, just taking a few conscious, deep breaths, it does more than just calm you down. It's like a shortcut. It helps center you, quiets the mental noise, and allows that more intuitive response to come forward. A bit like Musashi, finding his calm before striking.
Okay, breathing. I can do that. But what about decisions? I definitely overthink decisions, even small ones. How does Mushin help there?
It encourages trusting your gut, that initial instinct. You can practice this. Maybe visualize yourself in a situation needing a quick response. A tricky question at work, maybe. Imagine reacting instinctively. Then try it with smaller things. Trust that first impulse more often. You can always reflect later, but try not to get paralyzed before acting. It's about building that intuitive confidence.
And I guess some kind of regular practice helps build that underlying awareness, like meditation.
Absolutely. Doesn't have to be sitting on a cushion for hours, though that helps some people. Think of it as meditative drills. Focus intently on your breath for just a minute. Or really tune into the physical sensations of walking. Just fully feel your feet on the ground. Anything that anchors you in the present moment, pulling you out of your head, helps cultivate that motion state.
What about multitasking? We're all doing it, all the time. It feels necessary.
From a motion perspective, multitasking is kind of the enemy of that clear, focused state. It fragments your attention, creates constant mental chatter, single tasking, just focusing completely on one thing at a time. It's not just about being more efficient, though it usually is. It's about achieving that deep presence. Like the swordsman focused only on this cut, this moment. Try it with one email, one conversation, even making coffee. Give it your full attention. It grounds you. Reduces stress, too.
It really does seem like Mushin isn't just for fighting or high-pressure moments. You mentioned Musashi was also an artist, a painter, a calligrapher.
Exactly, that's a crucial point.
Yeah.
His art is said to have flowed with that same naturalness, that lack of hesitation. It shows that this state of no mind is incredibly valuable for creativity too. And you can absolutely bring this into your daily routines. Think about cooking, walking the dog, folding laundry. The key is how you do it. Focus completely. Pay attention to your senses, the smell of the food, the feel of the fabric. Limit distractions. Be fully there. Suddenly, those mundane tasks become chances to practice presence, to find flow. It cultivates calm and purpose, little by little.
That makes sense, especially now. Our world is so full of distractions, isn't it? Notifications pinging, social media scrolling, emails pouring in. It feels like our attention is constantly under attack. How does Mushin specifically help us deal with that modern reality?
Well, that constant digital noise is a major source of the mental clutter and overanalyzing we talked about. Mushin gives you tools to consciously quiet that noise, to learn to trust your gut feelings more, respond instinctively rather than reactively, and it helps regulate emotions when you feel overwhelmed. So when you feel that pull of distraction or you're facing a stressful email, instead of just reacting, pause, take a breath, just one conscious breath. Then respond from that slightly calmer, more aware place. It's a small shift, but it can make a huge difference in navigating that digital overwhelm.
So it's not about building walls against the world, but maybe building better filters, responding from a more centered place.
Precisely. It's about developing what you might call intuitive confidence, trusting that inner sense a bit more, letting go of the constant need to second guess and overanalyze everything.
Okay, but I can see how this could be tricky. No mind, could someone misunderstand that? Like, use it as an excuse to just check out. Ignore feelings, ignore responsibilities.
That is a really important point to address. Yeah, there are pitfalls. Mushin isn't intended to lead to emotional numbness or detachment. It's not a free pass to be irresponsible or uncaring. That's a misinterpretation. It's fundamentally about balance, staying present, acting clearly, but without losing sight of consequences or empathy or your connection to others. It's a tool for more effective, aware action, not for indifference.
Right, so it's more about observing your feelings without letting them completely run the show. Staying aware but not getting swept away, being responsive, not reactive or absent.
Exactly. Awareness, not indifference. And the great thing about Mushin is how adaptable it is. It's not a rigid dogma. You can weave its principles into your life in ways that make sense for you. Your work, your relationships, your hobbies, even just how you handle your morning commute.
So finding your own personal balance with it is really key. It sounds less like a destination you arrive at and more like, well, a lifelong practice. Tuning into instincts, practicing presence, building self-trust.
I think that's a perfect way to look at it. And to kind of wrap up our deep dive here, the core promise of Mushin really is that clarity, that calmness, that ability to act decisively. It helps you cut through the noise, respond with purpose, not just react out of worry. It's ancient, yes, but incredibly relevant for us today. And remember, you don't need to be a Zen master or a samurai to benefit. Just a little awareness, a little practice. It can bring a surprising amount of peace, even when things feel chaotic.
Absolutely. And remember that calmer, more focused version of you, it's already there, waiting. It's about trusting your instincts, really embracing the present moment, finding that stillness within the noise. Maybe just start small, like you said. Practice the breathing. Try single-tasking one thing today. Be fully present for just 5 minutes. You'll likely notice a shift over time. It adds up.
And perhaps as you start exploring this journey towards inner stillness yourself, maybe consider this. How might truly understanding Mushin change not just what you do, but fundamentally how you experience every single moment? How might it turn even the most ordinary parts of your day into opportunities for, well, profound presence and maybe even that intuitive flow we've been talking about?